Okay, guys, welcome to the Command and Staff meeting for August. We don't have a lot of slides because we only have a couple of big topics. S1, did you have any big updates for us?
Negative, not at this time.
S2.
Yep. JO is almost finished. We're actually ready for playtesting, and that's going to be for the August JO. And then we are almost complete with getting rid of Airboss and adding a new script that will do same thing, turn the boat into the wind, and also handle trap sheets.
Perfect. I'm going to take our S3 update, and some of this is going to be at the end. We're a little slow on training right now, and so that's going to be. We're going to have a recruitment push, and it's going to be a discussion here in just a few minutes as we get down there. S4, did you have anything missed?
He'd have to be here, so...
He's here.
I am here.
Oh, there he is! Sorry, forgive me, shoot me. Continue,
No, it's all good. I'm driving at the moment, so if my voice is a little bit muffled or sounds distant, that's why. Yeah, I'm back from my leave of absence, so I know there's a lot of J4 work to get caught up on here. So at some point, hopefully in the next week or two, I'll be able to push down a patch, but I got to get in touch with Arrow, find out exactly what's up and where we stand, and just start putting all those pieces back together because it's been a while, and I know there's a lot pending. I am curious, though, a decision was made while I was away that we weren't going to push down named jets to people below a certain rank anymore. I'm just wondering why that was.
Well, that was a request made, I think, from Arrow and company to try and reduce the total workload on your shop. That we wouldn't start, because we have a fairly large amount of people that come into the first slot and then leave, and that's so the request was to try and reduce the burden. It was raised by, I don't remember who raised it last meeting.
it was actually raised by it was raised by ARC.
Yes.
So basically, Mist, where we're at is you are the S4 or J4. Arrow has nothing has been done since you went on leave of absence. Arrow hasn't done anything. We realize the amount of extra work that you had. You produced some amazing high quality jets, and quite frankly, we don't want you to burn out.
Yep.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, putting names on the jets is, most of that's all template work at this point. So it's a little bit of busy work, but that's not really the difficult part of the component, if it makes sense. Let me rephrase that. At least that's true for the Marine and the Navy jets. I can't speak to the Air Force and the Army stuff because that's the stuff Arrow's always kind of handled. So maybe there's more of the work there because I know he actually goes through like on an actual real life jet by jet basis and like models each individual jet. So that might be a lot more work on that end. I don't know. And
that's something that, so this is something that that we can discuss if you want, if you need a change of the way things are doing, that's fine as we move forward and you're looking at the Air Force jets. If you need to look at doing it slightly different, I think that's up to your leeway because okay. I don't have the skills to do it. I lean on you to do it. That's why you're and you have the skills. That's why you hold the J4 lead. So really what it comes down to is post what you need to see happen, and we'll make sure that that's what goes on.
All right. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that being the policy. I was just curious because I wasn't around when the decision was made as to what the rationale behind it was.
Lone Wolf for S6.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yes. Yeah, so I'm gonna tie into S2. We should almost do S2 and S6 together on this, but so we put a fair amount of time in on the getting the Airboss out and getting the new Into the Wind script and the LSO mod in. This has been quite a bit of changes on the server side and testing. And just this afternoon, we've got the new LSO trap sheets, we believe, working in a test mode. So probably in the next 24 to 48 hours, it'll get rolled out to our other servers in a full build capacity. We're also I am still looking for a PHP coder, and I'll make this announcement out everybody. I need somebody that can help with our flight statistics. We're going to be moving away as soon as I can find somebody to help with this. We're going to be moving away from the current statistics system. It is growing more and more. Again, it's kind of a common theme for us. It's growing more and more problematic because the developers have faded away, and various changes in DCS is making it harder and harder to maintain. So we're going to move to a system that's more current and that's being maintained. And as part of that will be a migration of all the existing flight hours and flight statistics to this new system. So that's going to be a pretty big lift and shift in the next coming months. If I can find somebody to help out with the I say small front end portion of displaying the statistics on our website. That's one. And then the second one, which I'm going to table this until we get back to our roundtable on everything else, but I'd like to open up some discussions on the challenges that S2, S6 is having with ED and the F18C/F in VCENTCOM. So let's throw that on the flag and then make sure everybody else has a chance to ring in, and then we'll open that up on discussion.
So that was actually where I wanted to move to next, Lone Wolf. So Stumper, I know right now there's some issues with the 18F, as in it's causing issues for other pilots and their enjoyment. Do you have a solution?
How is it impacting people's enjoyment? What are you referring to? All I'm attracting is that the most recent update changed the ability for the Charlie and the Foxtrot to coexist at the same time when installed. Is there another issue that I'm not aware of?
No, well, no. That's the big thing is, our C squadron can't function.
So all they have to do is uninstall the Foxtrot, and they can sit in the Charlies. They just won't see the Foxtrots. I don't understand what that means.
The mission designers can't actually build the two together right now. Raiden actually has to open up the mission file, right?
So that's different than ruining other people's enjoyment.
Sure.
So I would like to still have the opportunity to see what it is. If you want to remove the Foxtrots from the server temporarily, I'm okay with that, out of the mission file so that the Charlies can fly, because that should take primacy. But I'm not yet ready to abandon until I have.
All right, guys, hold on. I will be right back.
Yep.
But recording is still going.
We understand some of the RWRs are not tracking currently with the current mod. So some of the people are back to reporting 27s on the RWR, even with the mod installed. So that's some of the other fixed wing aircraft.
Okay, so RW, because it was interesting. So what didn't get reset was the ability for the tankers, I haven't had a chance to get on and test the bandits, because again, I just got my internet back to a point where I could get ping speeds low enough to actually go fly. I want to test to see how the bandits were responding, because I know we worked through that whole issue. Because right now I think it's limited mostly to the coexistence of the two, what should have been separate mods, basically now in the mod folder with the latest update. So
correct.
I want to reach out to the developers to see if they have intentions to correct that.
I did DM the two main developers and have not received anything back from them in the last 2 weeks. That doesn't mean they're not. They've been radio silent.
Okay, 2 weeks, because that was before the patch. So
yeah, we had other issues where I asked them if they'd be doing some fixes to that, and they didn't respond.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's not a definitive. Just calling.
No, that's a data point. I appreciate that.
So from go ahead.
I'm saying if a change to the mission file needs to occur, I would put primacy on making sure that the Charlies are all available, because any of the 41 pilots can jump in a Charlie, no problem, as opposed to trying to force a Foxtrot on there.
Yep. So we actually did have a couple updates we have to make to Persian Gulf, and in order to do that, I did have to convert all of the Fs to Cs, and maintain all frequencies, all that stuff. Same thing for the joint op. Those are all currently Cs.
Okay.
In order for me to maintain Fs, I would have to, and I don't even know if it works yet, I would have to go into the mission file, like the actual text that gets saved in a .mis file, and edit.
Manually update them.
Yes. I don't even know if that's going to work though. I'd have to put out the C model and then put out an experimental patch to even see if it works.
That's a lot of work. That's not worth it. I understand what you're trying to say. You have to update the file because when you go into the mission editor, it only gives you one of the two mods to select. So,
yes.
Understand. Definitely not worth trying to go because the potential of screwing something up in the code is far too detrimental.
Right.
So, for the next month's patch, do you want me to update and revisit the C skins for the 41st?
If the CAG skin and Align skin is there, that's fine.
All right. Yeah, I'll just use the ones that we did for the deployment.
Yeah, I would just leave that. And then we don't even need all the other ones because, again, it'll be a limited use and we'll get it figured out whether the Foxtrot will be restorable or not.
Yeah, I'll just leave those ones as they are, and they'll still be in the installer if people want to grab them, but I'll just make sure that the other ones are at least available again.
And Stumper,
I don't want you to have to do more work just to get us back. So only use kind of what's currently available.
So Stumper,
Yeah, no, it shouldn't be a problem.
if you jump over to the Chill or Juice channels, their Discord, and I would talk to the developers, let them know what's going on, and how, you may find a solution with them fixing it, and that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, that was my plan. If they can, if they're going to put out another update, I did not have a chance over the weekend, and it took me like 3 days to get the freaking patch to install.
So
I think for now, what we're hearing is, we're not abandoning the F completely, but for the time being, we're going to revert to everyone flying Charlies, mission designers and skins to revert to that for the time being. Stumper, you're going to kind of take the charge, the lead, or whoever you want inside the juice channels to try and, guys, are we patching this? When can we expect it? And do the appropriate kind of initial testing before we then say, it looks like it's working, we'll put it back into the vCentcom mission skin flow. Does that track?
Yeah, again, I would hold off on reinvigorating the 41 skins for the Charlie, just because we don't know how long it may take. And if it determines that the Foxtrot Golf Echo mods are unsalvageable within vCentcom, then we can revert back. But it doesn't make sense to do a lot of work with the 41 skins for the Charlie if it would only be a short-term use. I would just make sure that the ones available are the ones that were available during deployment.
Okay, so the next thing that we have is I went through and I kicked a bunch of people out of the unit in the training wings that didn't respond or had left. So everybody that's in BFS or the either TAW2 or First FTS is current and valid as far as I know.
Has the master roster been updated? I need to go check that.
That's on Fenton, so Bueller. Okay.
I think that'll be a good place to go to check to see who's still.
Yeah.
There's a few people on there that I know need to discharge, but it's pretty up to date.
Okay. So what my big thing, we have a couple of big things we really need to look at. I need the commanders here. And leaders missed to reach out to their squadron and let's start getting guys reinvigorated. End of summer's coming. Let's get them back. Let's get them back in the cockpit. We have a huge, great group here. I want to see guys coming back in. Something I heard that someone say, I've heard that, guys are getting tired of training. Your weekly trainings, are completely up to that squadron commander. It's kind of your squadron commanders and command teams. It's your responsibility to make those fun and enjoyable based on the assets that we have. So if you guys want to be flying with other guys more, which is great, reach out to another squadron and arrange it. That cross communication from squadron commanders is important. The other aspect of this, not just getting guys back into the cockpit, but we need to do a good recruitment push. We were originally looking at October for red flag, I believe, was the plan.
That had been our original pencil
So,
on the back of the napkin. Yeah.
But we are not ready for that. We need to get everybody back in, get them in sync, in tune, things like that. So what we need to do is let's focus on getting new pilots in, getting our current pilots moving, starting to get them IP qualified and things like that, and get the squadrons going. But the big thing is, as we do this next recruitment cycle, leaders, please try to reach out. And I'm actually going to call somebody out here. Grim has done an amazing job at that, like horribly amazing. But reach out. Anybody can do.
I'm sorry.
Anybody can do BFS or MEPS, our intros. Anybody can do those.
You're gonna make us look bad, Grim.
I know. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, he really has. So, please reach out to those guys. Please start looking at that stuff, and let's get the squadrons a little fuller, especially our 18 squadrons. We really need to we need to boost you guys up. So let's if you guys can push some recruitment out too, that's great. If you talk to people, whatever. Let's fill up those 18s. Right in I know you're growing fairly well.
Yes, I just got 2 more, so I've got 2 slots available.
Shadow, how are you doing?
On paper, I'm mostly full. What I really have is 2 guys who have put themselves on indefinite leaves of absence, and a few other guys who seem to think this is a multiplayer server like Grey Flag, who show up when they feel like it and don't otherwise.
So let's make sure they understand the standards, and you can deal with them. If you get as we start recruiting, and you get to that point where you're full, then we're looking to trim the fat. So
yeah, that's kind of what I'm waiting on. Is if as soon as people start wanting the slots, then I'm happy to start bumping people who won't make an appropriate use of them.
And I actually want to put that out there really hard. I know we have some inactive people right now. We put a lot of work into them. So until we're full and it's now going to cause a problem, keep poking them. See if we can get them back in. If it comes to a point where we have, hey, shit or get off the pot because I have somebody that wants your slot, that's the way it is. But we put a lot of work into all of these guys, so let's see if we can coax everybody back into the cockpit and get them going. That includes me. I know I have not been attending as much as I should have. Life got a little bit overly hectic a couple months ago. Some distractions occurred on my part, and I'm making sure to get back into the cockpit a little bit more. So I need to apologize for that. So as long as I don't stroke out from the blood clots, we're going to be just fine.
No.
Hey, I only had a mini stroke 2 weeks ago.
Oh no.
While I was at work, I went in to the doctors, and all the symptoms went away. So the doctor said, "Well, we know this is what it was. It's TIA, and all the symptoms are fine. So you're good to go." And so I went back to work.
What?
Anyway, my big thing.
You didn't need those brain cells anyway, right?
Wait, I had brain cells up there?
Well, just seeing.
Okay, guys. Big thing, though. We really need to start pushing attendance on these guys. And that means reach out. Don't just reach out and say, hey, you need to attend more. Hey, how is life? I know this might not be everyone's forte, but reach out and say, hey, how is life going? How are you doing? What can I do to help you come back? Most of them will not even have anything. They'll say, I just need to get my ass back into the cockpit. But the fact that you asked means that you care about them, and so they will want to be here. So I know as commanders and XOs, everybody here is a senior leader. That is probably I don't want to say the worst part of our job, but it's a part that, we could all probably do without. It would be great if everybody just showed up. We could plan missions and move forward in life. But it's actually something really helpful to keep this group going. We've put a lot into this group. I don't even want to as far as Lone, do you mind if I share a personal detail of yours?
Sure.
So I can tell you that in the last year and a half, or last year, or just over a year, Lone has put about $1,500 into this group. I've put about $2,000 into this group. We have invested our lives into this. This is a big deal to us. We care about it. So we're not going anywhere, guys. So let's make sure that everyone here is important.
For sure.
Also,
beyond that too, it's the human thing to do. I mean, we fly with these guys. It's not like they're strangers.
Nope. Also, I did want, based on a message I just received from Fenton, I would like to announce that Second Lieutenant Fenton is our S1 lead.
He got demoted?
Well, if he'd even listen. Okay. Alibis, wing commanders. Let's start in the Army. Actually, Army, okay. Sorry. Do you two have anything COs for the Army?
I don't.
I've got nothing.
Okay. Navy.
We just continue to train. We've had limited attendance, and then sorry about the confusion with getting the meetings posted. I only had access to the one calendar, so I was able to post the meetings for this meeting, but not the full meeting.
You know what? I put it up, but for some reason it didn't work.
I saw the other day that it wasn't there, and I was like, "Oh shit, we've got it scheduled." Everybody's talking about it. It's not on the calendar. Threw it on the calendar, and then couldn't do the other one. I should have said, "Hey, as a reminder, somebody posted it," but didn't.
So Marines, 225th. I know we need to work on some recruitment, filling up those ranks again, and the 223rds had a couple of struggles, but they're pushing through. Biggest thing is apparently the entire 223rd thought it was a good time to move all at once. So,
unit solidarity.
The unit solidarity.
The priority is straight. We're doing it during the summer because deployment and red flag, man, that's going to be important. They need to be ready and present. So I'm glad they planned their real lives ahead of the game.
Yep. Mm-hmm. See, the rest of you need to learn for the 223rd. And Air Force. Anything wing commander needed?
So we posted the thing for our charter last month. I didn't hear any feedback about it as far as the 480th. Can we assume that will be changed in the future?
Yes.
Sweet. Thanks.
Yep. There was that. Actually, it could have been changed. The way I laid that out is everybody had 5 days to object from the last meeting. No one did, so it could have gone into the charter already. If we want to get that into the documentation, let's go ahead and do that.
Buckshot, can you send that to me and I will change it?
Yes.
That way I have it.
Got it.
Okay. I've already.
You're gonna get a question about the F-15. Do you want to update?
Yep. No. So I was going to catch at the tail end of this. I'm going to be putting up the transfer application form this week for the F-15. Please note, everybody here in squadrons, even if the pilot is qualified, if it endangers the existing squadron, they will probably not be transferred initially, and I'm going to be talking to you as COs to try and work through what needs to happen in that case. Please be sensitive to all those pilots that want to fly the mud hen and be thinking about those that have talked to you. We'll start that initial transfer in and get a pair of IPs up, and then once we get comfortable, we'll open it up to the full pilot count. I'm very heartened by we'll call it the massive bug fix patch, which made the Wizzo and the pilot in sync and functional. So that was a good, exciting move in the right direction. What else?
Okay, so as far as CG, I've already put out my piece. Deputy Commanding General, anything?
No, the attendance is a big part. Please, guys, remember that there's a lot of people putting a lot of time in. So try and be as communicative, not like a disease, as you can be. Implore your pilots to RSVP. I mean, it's that little step that helps the rest of us decide, and make plans, especially for joint ops, but this is kind of for everything. That's the first step of keeping everyone engaged is, hey, guys, respond to the RSVP. If you don't know, maybe he's okay. And you can change your mind and show up. We're not going to penalize you for that in the current squadrons. But please be as active as you can. And thank your J squads, each of them. There's a lot of time in the background that people never see, that I know Crazy and Ark and I interact with those J shops a lot. So throw a coin to your Witcher in this situation out there. Finally, it's not time, but probably in the next round, that donate button, please do, because as Crazy brought up, we both put in a lot of cash. We love this group, but it'd be great if we could share the love and spread the load. So we shouldn't have to call publicly. If you guys could just mention in your squadron as well, hey, if you like flying. Everybody else likes and subscribes, subscribe us. We appreciate that time and that. That's what I have.
Squadron. Oh, sorry. Go. Let me throw this out real quick, Grim. If squadron commanders, if you do the VCENTCOM email plan, you need to message me and let me know you did that, so that I can get it set up. But continue, Grim. Sorry.
I was just going to add in the whole getting people to RSVP and stuff. That starts in MEPS, right? So, like, making sure that whoever's doing training and stuff is actually making sure that they're actually going over that stuff too. Of, hey, we have this system. This is how you use it. Get them used to it when they're in training. That way, when they're actually doing real things, then we don't have to worry about, hey, why isn't so-and-so showing up? So, anyways, that's all I got.
Okay, guys, 30 minutes until the main meeting. So go forth, conquer, have fun, refill your coffee. And hold on one second. This is the end of